Life. New life. A beautiful baby born into this world, and I was there to help it. But there was something wrong. There was life, yet not the spark of life. No emotion. No soul. Like an empty vessel. Like a shell. I have seen others like it here. Is it that the gods are so distant that is causing this? That the souls waiting for bodies that they cannot reach them here? Is that it? Is it the devil? Is he taking these poor souls for his own purposes? I know not, but I know that we must stop him. We must find the old son. It is waiting for us here at the abbey. Surely the abbot will help us, yes? Surely he will see that good and light must be brought into this world. This is Red Moon Role-Playing.
This hideous creature lunges towards you, Roshek, its giant bat-like wings lifting it into the air as it flies towards you. A mess of clothing and hair and teeth. What do?
I stagger back and I draw my longsword if I can.
Indeed, and you bring it out just in time, ready to face this foe who is about to descend upon you. And then you hear a clink and the sound of chains. And the creature is stopped in mid-air before it truly reached you, and instantly dragged back. The chain has run out. This creature has tried to get you still, though, flapping about. It's like a bat, Roshek, but the bat the size of a person, with legs like a cow, and eyes and teeth, matted hair. It is screeching at you. Enemy, you come to kill. I will kill you first. I will kill you first before you kill me.
I'm seeing this as well, right? I'm right here, right?
Indeed, although you are noticing you're a safe distance away. As long as that chain holds.
I'm holding my longsword tightly. I don't like the fights of fighting something that's tied down, but this is clearly a fierce creature that I shouldn't get too close to unless, well, we wish to fight it.
I look at this creature and I try... Can I determine whether or not this is a... Is this something undead? Is it something that must be smited? Or is it something that is still alive? Some kind of hodgepodge of different creatures like Otto and his friend.
Again, you see a creature that has gigantic bat wings as arms, but its legs are hooves, like a cow or a goat. It is a mass of long hair and little beady red eyes. It's wearing some sort of clothing you do not sense undead. It is definitely not a natural creature, though. The wings are not natural bat wings. They seem to almost be growing out of it or grafted onto arms, human arms once maybe. It's hard to tell. This thing is flapping all over the place. As you are investigating, Otto comes to your side and grunts. Morenza! Bad, Morenza! Bad! Bad! And he gets his shovel and just starts trying to hit the creature. He misses a few times before finally getting a good solid hit into its face. It yowls in pain and sort of flies back from him, going the full length of the way train, screaming, "You come to kill me! They come to kill us!" It's like, "Quiet! Silence! Silence! Bad, Morenza, bad!" And he goes to you and shrugs and goes, "Apologies, Morenza, bad. She is very bad. Stay on chain, you will, yes."
Indeed.
Sounds like a good idea. And I sheathe my longsword. What's with the thing? Why is it like that? Why is it attacking?
Otto shrugs. "She bad. She crazy. Very crazy. Otto not crazy. Otto very not crazy. You notice, yes? Otto very clever. Know things. All things. Ask me question. Any question. I know."
Where is the abbot, Otto?
Yes. This way. This way. This way. And again with his shovel, covered now with a bit of blood after batting this poor creature back, he leads you on towards this chapel-like building. And finally he leads you through some open doors and into this chapel. The first thing you see is that the ground floor is one large 50-foot square room with arched leaded glass windows. A cauldron sits on an iron rack above a fire in a hearth, while above the fireplace hangs a golden disc engraved with the symbol of the sun, almost like a little shrine, if you will. In one corner you see a wooden staircase climbing to the upper level, while in another corner a stone staircase descends down level. These are to your left and right, respectively. Several chairs surround a wooden table that stretches nearly the length of the room. Wooden dishware and gold candelabras are neatly arranged on this table, and you notice, sitting at this table, a young woman with alabaster skin, dressed in a torn and soiled red gown. Her auburn hair is neatly bundled so as not to touch her shoulders. She is lost in her own thoughts, staring at another man who has turned now to face you as you enter. This man is a handsome young man in a brown monk's robe, currently gently taking this woman by the hand. He is saying something to her and smiling, before nodding and coming down towards you. You notice on him a painted wooden holy symbol that depicts the sun hanging from a chain around his neck. He moves serenely, peacefully. He descends some steps and comes to greet you. This handsome man, he takes off his hood and reveals long, lustrous blonde hair, perfect eyes. It's a little stunning, really, Roman. You feel a little awed. You're not quite sure why. Otto mumbles something and then immediately scatters off, leaving you with this man. And before he speaks, you, Roshik, hear from somewhere upstairs, it sounds, there's some music playing. Something like a cello or a violin. It's very pleasant, filling the area with a soft music.
What a contrast, I think. The first thing I thought when I stepped into the room was an intense urge to liberate this place of that lovely golden disc, whatever it is. And does it look like a shield? Is it just ornaments?
It's a lovely ornamentation. Although you notice it seems like it's placed in front of something, maybe a little alcove. You can't quite tell from here, but it seems to be placed. There's a little empty space you can see behind it, but you can't see what lies within there without going and having a closer look. Roman, how do you feel?
I see this man, this holy man, based on, yes, the ornaments and things that he's wearing. And I speak to him, and I bow and I say, "Greetings, brother. I am Dawnbringer Roman, priest of Lathander, of the Morning Lord where I come from. We pray to the same god, I believe."
He smiles. "Indeed we do. Indeed we do. A priest of Lathander. It has been a very long time, brother. A very long time indeed. Welcome. Welcome to the Abbey of St. Markovia. I am pleased to meet you. It is very pleasant indeed. Come. What brings you here? Do you seek healing? Do you seek his light?
We do seek the light. In fact, we seek the old sun. Would you know perhaps of what I'm speaking of?
My eyes flicker between the two, following the conversation.
He smiles warmly and nods. Indeed I do. The old sun. It has not shone in these lands for a very long time, I am afraid. Worry not though, brother. One day soon it shall return, and with it, Lafanda's light.
I would very much like that. This land feels empty, dark, and sad. The light must come again. Perhaps we can bring it back. Perhaps we can join forces and we can bring the old sun back. Perhaps we must not wait. Perhaps now is the time. What say you?
What an interesting proposition. Of course, through prayer and goodwill. Yes, we shall find a way. Very soon, in fact. Indeed. Why have you come to this abbey? You do not wish healing, then? You wish to assist me in bringing light back to the land, is that it?
Yes. We do wish to bring the light back, and to do so, we need the old sun. It is a thing? It is an item, perhaps, of great power. Is that it? We have been told that it is here, and that it can aid us in our endeavor to bring the light back. Yes, that is what we wish to do.
He tilts his head a little, regarding you curiously. He smiles. Oh no. Item. No. Item is not the way, brother. It's all right, though. I understand your misunderstanding. But I would greatly take assistance. Yes, you can indeed do something for me to help us bring back the old sun. Indeed, you can. What fortuitous timing. And he turns and goes back to this woman. Roshek, what have you been doing while this conversation's going on?
I've been listening, wondering about this. It's just too strange. The way he looks and the way he acts. How peaceful and nice this temple is. But then compared to these malformed creatures, the screams I heard from within, the straw puppets supposed to be guards, it's not right. And I keep staying alert, and I try to observe anything that would be out of the ordinary.
Indeed, and he goes back to this woman. He smiles and strokes her hair fondly, combing it almost with his hands. He makes a little motion, and almost as if to tell her to stand, and she does. She stands. Roman, roll me an insight check.
25.
There is something very wrong here, Roman. When she stands, what is wrong with her? Has she hurt herself? Maybe there's a stiffness. Perhaps she's hurt her back or hurt her leg, because the movement is very awkward as she stands. He smiles and makes another motion to her, and she smiles back. Again, something is wrong. She smiles. Wrong, Roman. It is not a true smile. You almost feel it's like what you would imagine if you told a cat or a dog, told it to smile, and it's tried to smile at you. It's a little unsettling, actually. Very unsettling.
I see this, and seeing as I'm not seeming to make any progress in my search for this old sun, I changed the topic slightly. These servants of yours here, did you make them?
He seems distracted for a moment as he observes the woman, taking a moment then to run his hand across her face and almost adjust her jaw a little, or something like that. He's doing something around her face. He turns and he nods and sighs. Indeed, the Bellevues. They are very sick, you know. I have done my best to heal them. I have healed them, but unfortunately, they need a great deal of care. But do not worry yourself, brother. The Abbey of St. Marcovi is a place of healing, a place where all illnesses will be removed in his light, and I take the burden of maintaining them. I look after them. They are safe here, despite their illness.
Did you perhaps cure them of the illness of death? Did you bring them back from the other side? Is that why they are as they are?
Some of them, but many it was not needed. No, it was a complicated problem. He comes back towards you. He's watching the exit now, looking upstairs every now and again where this lovely music is continuing to play. No, brother, it was a strange problem. They had so many little problems. But eventually, I found a way. I'm not quite happy with the method, but I have perfected it over some time, and they are happy now. Some of them need looking after. I keep them in the other wing. We feed them. We make sure they don't play too hard or rough. They would otherwise. But no. I've done my best, and I will continue to do so. When the sun returns, it'll be fine. All is good in the eyes of the light of Lathander, after all, as you know.
It is.
What are they? What manner of beasts are they?
They are not beasts. Half-orc. They are people with an illness. I have healed most of it. They had so many little things they wanted, though. I confess I gave them a little too much charity. But what can I say? I've learnt now. I've improved. They are well, although the illnesses of the mind are harder to remove, even with one of my skill. But I look after them as my own, my children. They are all children in the eyes of Lathander, after all.
You mean that these beings were people once?
Initially, yes. Not the newer ones, of course, the children and the children of those children and so on.
What about the one chained up in the courtyard?
Marenza. She is very troubled. It's not her fault. We have to chain her or she misbehaves. A shame. But worry not. She doesn't mind her own kind so much as you visitors. But all are welcome here. The one upstairs is welcome, though I feel she will soon be able to leave. And yes, you are welcome, as long as you are peaceful and respect my wishes. You did say you wished to assist me, though, didn't you, priest?
I did promise to do that, and I made a promise to the burgomaster's wife. She asked me to see if you would be willing to help bring back their son. He died yesterday.
They have many children, don't they?
But each child is a gift. Each life is precious, and yes, their love for their children is strong.
And yet the gift of life of Lathander must not be squandered now, priest. You know this. It is not light of heart to bring those back from the place beyond, especially in lands such as these. However, perhaps this is how you can assist me, yes. Yes, we shall go, and I shall get what I need from them. That is an acceptable price. You can help assist. What do you say?
We will bring him back from the dead. That is it. That is the price? What is the price? You must tell me of this price. There are things I am willing to do and things that I am not willing to do. I must know.
A strange question to ask. After all, you must be willing to do anything in the name of Lathander and the God of Light. You have sworn your vows, have you not? A strange thing to say, but I will understand honesty. I am open and will answer any question. Yes. He goes to the woman and strokes her face again. She needs a dress. These tattered robes she's had for a while are not good enough. They are not good enough. She is almost perfect now, my darling Vascula. But no, a better dress. A wedding dress. For soon, and he smiles warmly, soon there will be a wedding. And then, my friend, all will be well in these lands. But yes, she needs a dress. I shall ask for a dress. I think that is a very acceptable price, do you not think? Yes, yes it is.
What is wrong with her?
With who?
With the woman.
The woman looks to you at this point, staring. She is silent. She has not said a word this entire time. She still seems to have that smile on her face that, as you look at it, Roshek, again, seems wrong. It is not correct. It is almost correct, but not. He smiles at you, Roshek. There is nothing wrong with Aliska. She is almost perfect. It's taken me so long, but I am finally so close. But her gold clothing is inadequate. The final touch, she will need a beautiful wedding dress for her wedding.
What are you doing to her?
Preparing her for her wedding.
But what has taken so long? What are you doing? What process is this?
Ah, I see, yes. Well, as you can see, she is almost perfect, but it has taken a very long time. My earlier attempts were failures, I admit. I have one guarding the doors of the infirmary now, but finally, I have done it. Except for the clothing, I am not a good tailor.
Your attempts at what?
Dear me, making her, of course.
You made her? Out of what?
Whatever I had nearby. The various pieces. Hard to get. Very difficult to, as you can see, but look, I feel you can almost not even tell anymore, can you? And he traces a line along her neck. Make me a perception check, Roshek.
20.
There's stitches. It's very hard to see, but you notice now that he pointed. Around her entire neck are stitches.
You've pieced her together?
But of course.
From dead bodies?
He smiles. Yes. Yes, indeed.
And I turn to Roman. Is this customary among you priests of Lathander?
No, Roshek, it is not customary. But these are strange lands. Perhaps they have different ways of honoring him here.
And yet, Roman, you can't help but wonder to yourself that sentence, does that not feel a little hollow to you? I mean, there's a sanctity to the dead. You don't use their body parts? How has he used body parts?
Yes.
What does he mean by failures? He smiles as you're thinking this. Ah, well, it was difficult to get some of them, I admit, but now these are fresh, these are good ones. Finally, I'm so close. But yes, what say you? We shall go. Yes, we shall go to the town. I shall bring him back, and they shall give me a dress. My bride will almost be ready then for her wedding. What a glorious day it will be when we finally bring back the old son, brother. That is how it shall become back, after all.
She will marry the Lord of the Land. Is that what you have in mind, or?
Of course. How perceptive of you. Indeed. She will marry the Count. And finally, his reign of evil will be over. And this land will be saved.
Do you mean you created her as an image of the one that he couldn't have?
He frowns a little at this and shakes his head. No, she is in no image of anyone else. No, this is a perfect bride. It'll make him happy. Happier than he's ever been. That is his problem, you see, chasing the darkness of the past, chasing his own inner demons and shadows. Perhaps, priest, you think I'm unaware of his evil. On the contrary, I am very aware of it. But this is the way to fight it. Not with violence, not with foolish acts of killing and conquest, no. No, by understanding him and bringing the light to him, this land will finally be free.
I find the methods somewhat questionable, but, well, the goal seems pure enough, I suppose. Bringing back the light, bringing back peace. Yes.
I rub my forehead and well, right. I don't know if you think that's the way to do it. And I look up to the ceiling. Who is it that you keep upstairs that's playing the music?
He looks upstairs. Ah, Cloven. He plays such sweet music. He is a good boy. And, well, I imagine he'll be entertaining our other guest. Perhaps it is time that she exited with you as well, actually. And he then calls out, Cloven! Cloven, guests can come down, and you can come down as well. And you hear some commotion from upstairs, a bit of movement around, the music stops. You hear some grumbling, and you see a man coming down the stairs. He is a misshapen hunchback. He has two heads. One head has goat horns on the top, and a thick beard. He seems to be walking with a shuffle. One of his hands is a human hand, but the other a lobster claw. The other head is a baby's face, a small little baby's face, but covered in reptilian skin, currently hissing. Master, I bring her down, but now you've woken up Nathaniel, and he then sort of bats with his good hand at this other little baby head, which screeches this sound, and is like, quiet, quiet! This guy looks towards you both and is sort of distasteful of you, like, you bother me, make the master bother us.
I stare at this monstrosity. I feel very uneasy by all of this. I don't like being here one bit.
Yes. A dress, you say, brother? Let us go get that dress. Let us bring back the burgomaster's son. And let us get your bride ready then, shall we? Let's bring back the old son.
Indeed, although I shall come with you, of course. There is no need for you to trouble yourselves with this. You can simply assist. That'll be good for me. Oh, Cloven, where is Esmeralda? Esmeralda, please do come down. And a woman steps down. This woman, compared to everything else you've seen, is a normal woman, you suddenly notice. She is dressed in scarves, some of them brightly coloured. She has a sword at her side and a rapier. She has a bandana through her hair, her long auburn hair, which, Roman, you look and you can't help but feel that the hair colour is very similar to the other woman currently here. Very similar indeed, although this woman seems to have a little less of it. It seems to have been cut a little. The woman comes down. She has a bandage on her arm, and she looks towards the abbot and then towards you. Thank you, abbot. I'm glad I didn't wish to intrude upon your talk with some guests, but hello, greetings. What's going on? You are leaving? Yes, Esmeralda. We are going to go down to the village and assist them, and then they will assist me. However, perhaps now you are healed enough and can make your own way. We have enjoyed your stay here, but you have perhaps stayed too long, and, well, we do not need extra guests here. There isn't more than enough people living here after all. She smiles and nods at this, and then just sort of looks at the two of you very curiously. What do you two do?
Does she remind me of the card of the warrior?
Well, you're not sure. That clue simply said a woman from the mists would aid you, one of our own folk. She is definitely Vistana. You've seen enough now to know that.
Interesting. She does seem like a warrior too, doesn't she? With a rapier.
She does. She has quite a few weapons on her person, in fact, and seems to be carrying a pack as well.
Huh. Well, she's the most normal thing I've seen in here, and trying to shake that off, feeling of unease, by addressing her. You're different from what we've seen here. Oh, what are you doing here?
It is a long story, friends. We probably do not have time for all of it, but let us say I am a traveler in these lands. I fell into some trouble. Luckily, I was able to get to Kresik and offer some wine in his passage, and I have been healed by the abbot. He has some very good healing powers. I only had to pay a little price. She brushes at her hair and remarks, and to be honest, a few strands of hair is not too terrible a price, I think, for the saving of one's life. She laughs a little and looks towards you, Roman. Roll me an insight check.
16.
She's laughing a bit too hard. She keeps looking at the abbot, then at you. She's on her guard. Not terribly so, but she's definitely perhaps not as at ease as she seems to be pretending to be.
Is she afraid of the abbot? Is that it?
You wouldn't say afraid. She just seems ready. She has a hand near to her weapon belt.
Tense situation, then. Well, brother, shall we?
Indeed we shall. Come, Esmeralda, you may fetch your wagon. The gaudy thing. So hideous, it is time it was gone from this place, I think. And she nods and looks at the pair of you and goes, I guess I don't have a choice. I'm leaving whether I want to or not. Very well. And she starts to go outside. You then see this cloven figure mutter to himself and start to head back up the stairs. As you leave back into the courtyard with this man following you, his movements so serene, so at ease, he almost seems to glide across the floor. But of course that's not possible. You then notice the bell you heard before suddenly start to chime again, this time much louder as you are directly beneath it. This strong, harmonious bell ringing. And then noise. A cacophony of noise, madness, screams, shouts, roars, laughter. It is so loud now. You heard this before from way across the valley, and now it is almost deafening. Coming from this other building. You hear, amidst all this sound, something very clear, at least the most clear word you can make out. Food! 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 The abbot smiles and nods to the pair of you. Excellent. Feeding time, but come. We have business to attend to. Let us move on.
Let's, I say. I try to get close to Roshek as we start following the brother abbot, and I try to whisper under my breath. What do you think?
I think this is madness. What is he doing? I mean, I can't possibly believe that this is... what we came to do, to help him marry off his creation with the count, as he calls him. I don't think that's the way.
I know what you mean. But perhaps things will become clearer. Perhaps the truth will be revealed somehow. It is better than the alternative, no? And we might even be able to help this family. If he truly has the powers of life and death, then yes, perhaps we can make their lives a little bit more joyous. But I don't think it will be that easy.
It's not a real joy, believe me. He'll create some sort of new abomination from him. I say the only proper thing to go about it is to kill him and burn this place to the ground.
I say nothing to that. I just make a small nod, and I continue to follow him.
You begin to leave the courtyard of that abbey. These hideous sounds all around you now as you go past those gates. Roshek, roll me a perception check.
11.
You turn round to have one final look at the place, and you notice from one of those little padlocked areas, one of the padlocks has come off, and a wagon is now coming out. A small but brightly coloured wagon. You've now become quite familiar with the Vestante style. It is led by a single horse, in this case though it is a small wagon. And at its thing is the woman. This woman who has been told to vacate. This woman, Esmeralda, is riding on a horse, leading this small wagon out. It's weird though, Roche, because you have a funny thought that when she left, and in the time it's taken you to walk to there and she's obviously gone to get her wagon, but you feel like you lost sight of her for a moment. She seems to now be following you, and you are all now going back to those main gates. Again, you see that Otto individual, and you begin to go back to the iron gates that led into the abbey, and you are led out. I'm guessing you two rehorse yourselves.
Yes, get back on the horse, and is he riding, the brother abbot, or is he walking?
He seems happy to walk, although he motions for you to ride on.
Yes, then I do that.
And you begin to ride down the hill, and after some time you notice the woman with her wagon is coming behind you, and you lose sight of the abbot, but I suppose you probably wouldn't be that concerned. You'd probably just continue on the journey downwards.
Yeah. Well, I ride up to her along the wagon, and I present myself for once. I'm Roshek. You are Esmeralda.
Esmeralda de Avni. Yes, Roshek. Well met. Well met indeed.
What exactly do you think about what's going on there up in the abbey?
She looks behind her a bit and looks a little anxious for a moment, and then looks back to you. Honestly, I think he is a madman. The entire place is wrong in every way. However, I have been healed. That is all I needed. And now I think I am ready to move on and continue with my quest. But yes, I suppose it's a good thing I'm bleeding. I had some options, but your arrival seems to have suggested it is time to go, and I have made a choice. Yes, I shall go on and continue with my mission.
What's your mission?
She looks at you for a moment, as if a little uncertain, and then she remarks, "Not something you need to trouble yourself with, friend. Let us just say I am on a very important task, and it is time I got back to it."
Are you familiar with Madame Eva?
She narrows her eyes at you and shakes her head. She then laughs a little. "Let me guess, is she a leader of a Stani group?"
Yeah.
"Ah, and you've assumed, friend, that all of Vestari know each other." I forgive you, do not worry, I am just joking.
No, it was just a thought. Well, an idea that we might be on the same sort of quest. Anyways, I was just wondering what to make of this abbot and what he's doing. It's, did he take a lock of your hair to create this thing, this girl he has created?
He took several. She moves her hand a little and reveals quite a few bits of cut-off hair on one of the sides of her head. Yes, but it was a small price to pay for the healing which I required. I do not care what deeds he gets up to in that place. It is not my concern, and frankly I am happy to be getting away from that madhouse. But I warn you, he is not all he seems. I believe him to be completely insane, if I am honest. You'd have to be to dwell around those creatures.
I'm thinking a bit, and I sort of agree on her idea of it's not really my business. It's not really my business or what she does. But I thought my purpose was to do something else in the abbey. Something that had something to do with the, I don't know, items. Something to bring along. This just feels wrong.
She looks at you quite curiously for a moment and remarks, "Did you say you think we are on a similar quest? Pray tell me what exactly is your quest in these lands. I know that you are not a local. That is obvious."
I glance behind me and I say, "We're here to kill the devil."
Kill the devil? A very difficult mission.
Indeed. But we've got assistance, and we've made good progress. But, and something has led us to this abbey, to something about the fallen sun, the saint who is fallen, and the new one that does not know he's fallen, which I now believe even more strongly refers to the bishop. It was a vision of sorts, and we are to claim a certain blade which will help us fight the devil. We have already recovered artifacts, his diary of sorts, and, well, I know that some people are just seeing this as a ridiculous task, but we were drawn here, and I think that's what we are going to do.
Interesting. This is very interesting, my friend. You say you have assistance. Who is this assistance from, if you don't mind me asking?
Are you familiar with any shapeshifters in these lands?
She shakes her head, remarking, "No, I am not from here."
Well, neither are we. We were brought in. But there is a powerful, shall we say, family of were-ravens. And I suddenly freeze up, and I'm not sure I'm supposed to relay all this. But something still seems to relax me a bit about this woman. I've not really sought assistance before, but it's something about her that just makes me spill it all.
There certainly is. But she seems a little disappointed at what you say, and almost hesitantly asks, "You've not perhaps seen another traveller in these lands, someone like yourselves? Maybe an older man?"
Do you... Yes, we have.
You have? Where? Where did you see him?
Well, I'm not sure I can say this to you. Are you thinking of, do you have his name?
She seems oh so hesitant, like maybe I've spoken too soon. I tell you what, though, we shall deal with this situation, and then I shall ride out with you, and maybe we can talk more on the road. And maybe we can indeed help each other. And as you're saying this, you realise that you have now come to the end of the journey, and you are near the house, and you look, and you notice the abbot is there. He seems to have been waiting for you at the bottom of the hill. And she sort of quiets a bit and goes, "Let us deal with this first, and then we shall talk later, yes?"
Yes. Better not spill it too much while we are on this assignment.
I ride up to the abbot as he's standing there waiting for us.
"Ah, you are finally here, brother. You took your time."
Your skills are quite advanced. You have great powers. Lathander must smile at you.
Lathander once smiled at me greatly, although, as you know, he smiles at neither of us anymore. He is not present here. Not yet, anyway. He will return to us. Come to the burgomaster. And he starts to lead the way forwards. You notice a few villagers have now noticed your appearance and are looking at the abbot and are immediately all kind of retreating into their homes. Not out of immediate fear, more, again, like if they were bothered by you being here, they are even more bothered by him suddenly being here. They bow their heads and just get back in their houses.
Hearing that the abbot say that Lathander is not here, it stings a little in my heart. I feel the connection, though. He's just distant. That's all. He's just distant. He's here. It'll be okay. It will all be well in the end. Okay, we'll find the burgomaster now, I think to myself, and I follow the abbot as he leads us there.
Indeed, and you go towards the house, and the abbot goes and knocks on the door. The door opens, and Dimitri answers. His face falls immediately. Abbot, and he looks to you, and there is a mixture of anger, frustration, worry, fear, all at once. He's distressed. I am so sorry they bothered you. I apologize. I told them not to. It's like, hush. Hush, my child. It is fine, burgomaster. They have come beseeching me with aid, and aid I shall give to you. You wish... Where are the rest of your children? They are dead, Abbot. Ilya was the last. They have all gone. And he turns to you then and goes, you did not tell me this, priest. That does change things. The noble line of Kresev should not fall. It would do the people a disservice. Yes, of course I shall aid you and bring your son back from the grave. Tell, where is he? And the wife comes down and immediately moves into the garden. She has a shovel ready, and she begins digging a grave. The fresh one you saw, Roman. She is digging furiously, unearthing soil, and eventually hits something. And yes, there is a body. A young boy's body. Already starting to rot a little, although he still looks like perhaps he's only been dead a day or two. And she, yes, oh, thank you, priest, thank you so much, and thank you, abbot, yes, thank you so much, and she's bowing very reverently. The father is watching you both, is wringing his hands, he seems almost speechless. What are you all doing as you watch this? Esmeralda seems to be a bit distant from all this, he's not really paying much attention.
I try to keep my distance, but as the wife is starting to dig, I move over to the father and I try to ask him, what exactly did your son die from? All your sons?
Ilya died from consumption. The others have died in attacks of the wolves, the werewolves that prowl the lands, outsiders. You always bring trouble. You always bring death.
Well, I can see your wariness with regards to this abbot, and I can understand why.
We do not bother him. You must understand. He does not bother us either, much. Your holy has come down a few times in my lifetime.
I say nothing to this.
Does the thought of what he just said sound strange? In his lifetime. Only a few times he's come down. What do you think that means?
So he must be very, very old. This man that looks young.
Do you say that?
Yeah, I say that.
Dimitri just nods. He is older than us all.
He is. How old exactly?
I do not know. He has been here since my father's time, and perhaps before that. I do not know. The abbey once was empty. He is not as old as the abbey. He was not always here. He came. I know that. He leaves us alone. Sometimes he prays at the shrine, but otherwise he leaves us alone, and we try and leave him alone.
Is he as old as the Count?
He frowns a little and just remarks, I do not know. I do not know. And, yes, and meanwhile outside, Roman, this body has now been given to the abbot. He smiles and nods and remarks to you, very well. I shall bring back your son for a price. I will need a dress, your finest dress. She looks a little confused and remarks, well, I have many dresses. What's a wedding dress? It is vital. And she just nods very quickly and goes back into the house. As she does, the abbot turns to you, Roman. Of course, it is best we do this back at the abbey. You will assist, yes?
Yes. I will assist. Let us bring this boy back. Let us bring life and light back to this land.
Very good, very good. He looks up for a moment and remarks, "You can bring the dress to me. I shall meet you back at the abbey. There will not be a problem with payment, although do mention that if I am not happy with the dress, then I'm afraid our deal might not go as smoothly as they would like. You will mention this, yes?"
If that is what you wish me to say, certainly. That is an easy enough task.
"It is indeed," he says with a sudden air of command. He's been giving you an awful lot of orders, Roman. He seems quite at ease with this, though. How do you feel about that?
I am used to taking orders. I took orders every day at the Song of the Morning Temple. The high priest there spent most of the day scrubbing the floors. I am used to taking orders. It is nothing strange to me. But I have a bad feeling about all this, but something tells me that this will lead us to the truth. This will lead us to the old sun. I do not wish to engage in combat. I do not wish to engage in violence. He has not attacked us. We shall not act first. Not this time. No, not this time.
He nods to you and then begins to walk off, taking the body with him. You look back to the house, and then when you look back, he's gone.
I walk over to Esmeralda. I suppose you will be off then.
You are not heading off as well? He has the boy, and she looks, you see then this woman going to Roman and giving you a dress. It's a bit tattered, very old, but it is a bridal gown, you assume, from whatever the culture is in these lands. It has a veil. This must be a dress. I guess you are going to go and deliver it. She says, "Good, please tell him it's the best we have. It's the best we can get. I mean, other than Valakai, I wouldn't know anywhere else that would have better."
This is the best in the town. You are sure of that. He was specific. It had to be very good. It is for a very important wedding. Please, it's imperative.
"Yes, I assure you, this is my gown. I wore this. It's the finest piece of clothing we have. If not here, then it would be Valakai or somewhere." She looks very not sure what to say. What do you do?
Can I determine whether or not she is lying? Or do I just see that she is telling the truth?
You know she's telling you the truth. She's far too earnest. She wants to pay the price. She hopes this is good enough. She might be uncertain of that, but it's not a lie.
Yes, this will do. I will ask the abbot, and hopefully he will be happy with this, and hopefully we can bring back your son, and hopefully that will bring some joy back to you and to your family.
She nods and gives you the dress, and you are left alone again outside. Esmeralda is still talking with Roshek. "Are you not going yourselves now? You've done the task, haven't you? I feel it would be best if we just left as soon as possible."
We haven't gotten what we came for. At least I don't think we have. And I'll try again to listen to that. I wish the voice would come back again. There's something we're supposed to get from the abbey. An item of sorts. Have you seen anything that, when you were there, felt important?
She frowns a little and remarks, "Yes. Come." She leads forward to you. "Let's be discreet about it. Let's leave quickly, and we can discuss it outside. I think it'd be best if we just left as soon as possible. If you get my meaning."
But my companion, he's about to deliver the dress.
She doesn't say anything. She seems a bit... There's a conflict happening here. Roman, what are you doing? You walk over and see them two talking.
Let us bring this to the abbot. He has asked us to bring this. And that will make his creation perfect, and perhaps that will lead us on to what we're looking for. He has given us no reason yet to not act in good faith, or what do you say?
As you say that, Esmeralda looks a little uncomfortable. And what if maybe we have done something that angered him? It might be best to be leaving as soon as possible. She smiles a little nervously.
Well, I have made a commitment. I have made a promise. I will bring this to the abbot. Lathander requires me to follow my promises, and I intend to do so.
And as you say this, the abbot suddenly is walking back towards you. You think to yourself, how... He must have not even begun the journey back yet. He's only been gone a few minutes at most. But he is no longer carrying the boy. He looks to all three of you and smiles. Ah, forgive me for coming down again so quickly. I'm afraid I must deal with something, although I trust it won't be too difficult. Esmeralda, please, child. He extends a hand. Give it back. She frowns a little. I do not know what you mean. Like, come, child, I am not angry. I am merely irritated. Hand it back, now. She looks to the pair of you. What do you do, Roshek?
I draw my longsword.
He smiles at the longsword. That will not be necessary, half-orc. She will give it back, and then we will continue with our dealings. She looks to you. She reaches into her bag and draws out a holy symbol, Roman, shaped like a sun, with a red diamond in the middle of it. It is burnished and ornate and looks very old. It looks like almost a medallion of some kind. She frowns a little and puts out her hand. He moves over quickly and takes it.
Quickly as I see her pull out this thing, it just feels like, yes, something like this is important, and I try to reach out and snatch it before she hands it over.
Roll me a dexterity check.
I roll 10. No. I know, I roll 12.
You reach out and fumble to get it off her before the handing takes place. You almost get it, but then drop it because it was quite a clumsy motion as you lurched forward. It was quite impulsive. It falls to the ground. Esmeralda looks at you and just shakes her head like, no, friend, don't. And the priest, the abbot, just looks confused and goes to pick it up again. Like, Roshek, it is fine, my friend. I have it. What do you do?
I am holding my longsword in the other hand, and I look between the two, tense. But I somehow feel like people are not on my side here. If I currently don't trust Roman because I don't trust the way he's acting. I'm wary that other will attack me too if I try and do something, so I take a step back and I shrug and I put back my sword in its sheath again.
Indeed, and the abbot bends down and picks up this item. For a moment, Roman, you see a luminescent glow in it as he picks it up, and he then pockets it. This is how you repay me, child, by stealing from my house. I am very disappointed in you, but there is no time for punishments. You will simply be banished from here. Please leave, Esmeralda, and never return to Kresik or the abbey. If you do, I'm afraid I will have to punish you in the name of Lathander. Esmeralda frowns and looks at the bear of you, just nods like, yes, of course, I understand. She seems very frustrated. Now then, he looks back to you, Roman. What an unseemly sight, brother. Come, let us return to the temple and administer to the boy. How are you feeling, Roman?
That item, that is the artifact we're looking for, perhaps. But perhaps an opportunity will arise. I cannot stand the thought of attacking a fellow brother, a fellow follower of Lathander, not in cold blood, no, I cannot do that. I cannot stand by and let that happen. No, I have made a commitment, I have made a promise, I have
set out to do something. I have the dress and I show it to him. Would this suffice? Is this the best they say that they have? To get something better, we would need to go to Valakai. And, well, that may be a challenge.
He moves over and takes the dress. He sniffs it. He looks over it. He throws it into the dirt. No, my brother. It is rubbish. It is refuse. Not worthy of Valiska. You say Valakai. Very well. You shall be going to Valakai and fetching me a wedding dress, it seems.
I wish we could do that, but I'm afraid that we cannot. We cannot do that. And at the same time, we cannot leave empty-handed. Do you understand? I have to get out of here. I cannot remain here. We have an item that we must get, and you have that item. You will give it to us now so that we can bring back the light to this land, brother. Hand it over now.
He smiles very widely then, and tilts his head. Brother, are you threatening me? A servant of the Lord of the Thunder?
And I look to Roshek, and I nod. Hoping.
Roshek, what do you do?
I look at Roman again, feeling a bit of tension to just releasing from my body as we suddenly feel like we're more on the same side again. And I nod and I hold out the hand towards the abbot. Please hand it over and we will go find your wedding dress.
He frowns a little and remarks, suddenly very coldly, You make demands of me. You come to my home. You, looking at Esmeralda, steal from me. And now you make demands from me. To assist you, or what exactly? You will try and harm me? If you do not wish to assist me in bringing light back to this land, then you too will be banished from this area. You shall leave and never return. Do I make myself clear, brother? Or do you wish to defy Lathander?
Lathander is with me, brother. He has left this land a long time ago, and he has left you. You do not serve Lathander. Lathander would not desecrate life like you have. You are nothing but a simple sorcerer. Not a follower of the just God, not a follower of the Lord of Light. Now you will hand that over, or we will have an unpleasant scene, brother.
We shall have an unpleasant scene, shall we, brother? Oh my, yes. Certainly, indeed we may. And he takes a step forward, and you are blinded by a luminescent glow of light as the handsome man before you vanishes, and you see before you a tall creature, skin perfectly bronzed, a greyish pallor, grey hair, and two angelic wings. As before you, you see a celestial being revealed in his glory. But his eyes are dark and cold. He unfurls his wings before you, a mace suddenly appearing in his hand, glowing in radiant energy. You shall make no demands of me, mortals. You shall leave this place now, and never return, or I shall smite thee in the name of Lathander, servants of darkness. And then you hear in the distance the sound of the bells ringing once more. And you see this creature turn his head in confusion and look up. As you hear screams. This time the screams are different. There are screams of pain and agony, and the bell is swinging, ringing out, wild and uncoordinated. Something is wrong.
You have listened to an episode of Red Moon Roleplaying, where we play the campaign Curse of Strahd for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. Curse of Strahd was designed by Christopher Perkins and based on the adventure Ravenloft, written by Tracy and Laura Hickman in 1983. Dungeons & Dragons is published by Wizards of the Coast. The music is created by Metatron Omega, Flowers for Body Snatchers and Word Clock, and is used with permission from their label Cryochamber. Visit cryochamber.bandcamp.com or their YouTube channel for more tasty dark ambient. A new episode of Red Moon Roleplaying is released every Friday. Please like our Facebook page and give us feedback, comments and input there. You can also visit us at redmoonroleplaying.com. Finally, a huge thank you to our growing base of supporters. You are truly amazing and inspire us so much to keep going with the show. If you haven't yet found us on Patreon, please have a look at the links in the description and see if you want to show your appreciation and encourage our work with the show there. While the show will always be free of charge to our listeners, Patreon supporters have access to extra material such as our bonus Q&A podcast Ask for the Moon, where we discuss all topics and questions our Patreons have for us. You can even get access to the full-length, raw and unedited versions of our gaming sessions way before they are released as finished episodes. Thank you for listening. Looking forward to meeting again next week.